everybody, I'm Quinn.
And I'm Scott, and it's time for the Almost Friday Show for February 2nd, 2012.
And off the press this week, we're talking about the prequel to the Watchmen because it's been given the green light.
Yeah, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Tech Insight, we are talking about the Kinect finally coming to market. You can purchase that now, and why Google's getting sued for providing free maps.
And in science this week, we're taking a look at a fungus that eats plastics.
Yeah, that's right.
That's kind of crazy.
Apparently it'll help us remove all those plastic bags from the dumps that we keep throwing out.
Interesting.
Behind the lens, we're talking about a slew of new cameras from Nikon. Just the interesting ones, of course. And something new from Pentax.
But without further ado, it's time for Off the Press.
Hi everyone, welcome to this week's version of Off the Press. We
Yeah.
actually have some neat stuff.
Pretty big week this week, unlike last couple of weeks have been kind of small. Kicking it off, we have that really big sporting event that apparently is a big deal, you know? People throw that pigskin around.
Yes,
Yes.
throwing pigs. That is a wonderful sport.
Oh boy.
Sometimes, yeah,
Yeah,
we play that here in Canada.
that thing with that we're not allowed to say.
Yeah, I think you get the idea.
Yeah, you think you know where we're going with this. So, like most years, a lot of the big summer and spring blockbusters are showing off some awesome new footage, awesome new trailers during the game. And this year we got some Avengers action, some
Cool.
G.I. Joe action. I believe John Carter has a new trailer or like a featurette that's coming out.
Isn't it out?
No, not yet.
God.
It looks really cool though.
It's been going on forever.
And the one that's got me pretty excited is the new Hunger Games trailer, which looks really cool.
If you don't know what the Hunger Games are, you should read the books. I don't. I will have to read the books.
Kind of like Battle Royale, sort of.
Okay, so I liked Battle Royale, so
If you like Battle Royale, you'll probably like that. It's
I have a feeling Battle Royale was a lot gorier though.
yeah, but read the books. They're definitely really well written,
Okay.
and they're super easy to get into. They are young adult fiction, so you'll just eat through it in like 2 days.
So there's no sparkly vampires?
No, ew,
Thank
no.
God.
There's love interest, but no sparkly vampires, which I can deal with.
I can
That's
get behind
cool.
that. I can get behind that.
All right, and now something awesome.
Yeah, this is surprising news coming out of Sony.
Sony of all people, Sony is kind of spearheading this.
And it's about time.
About damn time. I know a lot of I know Steam has been doing this. Microsoft does this, but not consistently.
Yeah.
Sony does this on their PlayStation, but not consistently. What we're talking about is discounts for digital download.
Yeah.
downloaded
Digital
games.
content.
Yes.
So if you download the game rather than buy the physical CD or DVD or Blu-ray, whatever the hell it is
Whatever
nowadays, whatever
physical
media
format.
that it is,
They're driving down to the store.
yeah, instead of paying the $60-$70, you get whatever the discounted online is because they're not doing anything. They're publishing it, putting it on the site, and then you're downloading it.
Exactly.
And it's about time.
So for the PlayStation Vita games, unfortunately, the discount is pretty small right now at about 10 to 15%. But, you know, on a game that's like $50, that's a pretty good deal. On a game that's $10, it's like, yeah, sure, why
okay.
not? You know, it's better than driving to the store.
I was going to say, I do that. Mind you, though, there was a caveat you brought up, which was maybe having to get more memory
Yeah,
cards.
buying the bigger memory card. It depends on how much gaming you want to do, how many games you're going to buy.
Yeah.
If it's worth it to throw out the extra cash for the bigger memory card and get the small savings in downloading games.
But still, this is actually a pretty good step forward,
Yep.
especially for Sony, who has been unfortunately screwing up in the last
Yes.
year and doing some really backward steps.
Yeah.
More like backwards rolling off a cliff.
At launch, it doesn't seem like a big deal because there's only like 13 games coming out, but in the long run, if you do buy a lot of games, it's going to save you a lot of money. Pretty cool that Sony is getting behind this. And something else kind of cool, but very small news, Blizzard has made an announcement about their announcement in March. The
Yay!
new WoW expansion.
Yay! Didn't they already have one?
Yeah, they announced it at BlizzCon, but nobody's heard anything since. It came out this week that one of their forum mod people
Okay.
said that they will be putting out like a press release, cool stuff in March, which means that it might not be coming for a summer launch.
That sucks.
Yeah.
But, you know what, I think it still might. But this is that Mists of Pandaria thing,
Yeah.
which is like Kung
World
Fu
of-
Panda Origins.
World of Pokemon.
World of Pokemon, yeah.
World of Pokemon, yeah.
But yeah, like honestly, I think they may have gotten into the good stuff and watched the Kung Fu Panda movies and
Yeah.
were like, "Hey, we could totally put that in a game."
But people have been itching for a monk class since the beginning, and people wanted
Well-
pandas from the beginning.
Why?
Why pandas?
Why
I don't know.
pandas?
Monk classes are cool though. You finally have a use for those fist weapons. I'm just saying, there's no perks for them for any of the classes right now.
Yeah, well, forward thinking
Yeah.
and thinking for the future.
Exactly. And now some DC is definitely rocking the boat again. Rocking
Yeah.
the internet boat.
Oh, pretty decently,
Pretty
actually.
decently now. They're so Watchmen. Did you read the book?
I loved the entire Watchmen series. The movie, it was good enough for what it
It was
was.
an alright movie. The book was great. Now DC has announced that, you know those prequels that they've been talking about for the last 20 or so years?
The ones that everyone was going to shoot them for.
Yeah. Yeah, it's totally happening now. In the
Well,
spring.
I know what I need to do because that's
Go to New York and burn down their building?
yeah,
Actually, I think they're located in California now.
even nicer weather.
I guess.
Either way, it doesn't matter. I mean, as a person who really liked the stuff, and I'm gonna be that. Can I borrow your glasses quickly? Thanks. I was totally watching The Watchmen before it was cool, so
It wasn't even out yet when you're
when
Before
I
it
read,
was-
I read that before it was gonna become a movie.
before it was cool would be before you're even a glimmer in your parents' eyes.
That doesn't
There-
matter. I still
when
before
Watchmen-
the current generation that is going to be reading this crap.
When Watchmen came out, your parents were like, "Oh shit, we already have one kid. Should we really have a second? This one's a handful."
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah.
But I'm still here,
Anyway,
and I still did it before school.
negativity aside, DC has actually gone the right route and put some really A-list talent on this.
Okay.
So I believe they're releasing a mini series for each of the characters, which are going to be 4 to 6 issues apiece,
Okay.
as well as a couple of backup stories in each
But
in each series.
They kind of already covered a lot of that.
They
like
did.
I mean, Alan Moore kind of wrote about all of that. He
Oh,
gave you that,
Alan
that
Moore
the
is
glimpse.
Pissed about this.
I
He
could
is so-
imagine he is.
He's not into it, but the other.
If
the
he was
other-
dead, he wouldn't roll in his grave. He would jump out of it.
The other people involved in Watchmen, though, they're like, yeah, at first it seemed kind of shitty, but then the DC told me about what was going to be in it. I read the scripts, and you know what? Sure.
You know what?
So-
I'll check out a couple of them
Mm-hmm.
if I can get them off friends because I don't want to
Yeah.
pay for them.
I'll probably end up picking up some of these, maybe when they're on sale on Comixology or something.
Yeah, because honestly, this is not something that should have been. I get, like Alan Moore is
I
already,
like-
of course, mad because of the movie adaptation.
Oh yeah, I like the writers and the artists and all the creative people involved in these series to actually give this a little bit of a chance to see where this goes.
Hopefully, it'll be good.
Hopefully it doesn't suck, and even if it does suck, well, maybe you'll have some good superhero stories out of it.
Yeah. Either
Meh.
way, we'll see what
Anyway.
happens.
And now, one final thing. Donald Glover from Community. He wants you to save Community. Help him save Community.
So is the
Because-
show getting canned?
Sort of. It's on indefinite hiatus.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That could be a
It's-
problem if you're a fan of the show.
Yes. It makes me sad. It makes most of the internet sad. You know.
I have no idea what it is, so I
It's a
have no
thing.
opinion.
Yeah. So just go into our show notes, check out the video. It's pretty sweet because Donald Glover is awesome.
Cool.
And he releases
These are
Re-
always fun.
really big week this. Well, not really big, but
This is
decently
pretty big.
Decently big week this week.
Yeah. So first one is The Woman in Black, which is
Yes.
Daniel Radcliffe's move into not Harry Potter stuff.
Yes.
With the exception of Equus.
Yeah, he's done a lot of theater. He does musical theater.
Yeah.
I think he just got off 10 months of doing
Oh
a
God, I don't
musical.
remember which one it was. Though.
How to Succeed in Business without really trying.
Well, there you go.
I wanted to see it, never got around to it.
So this looks like a really good horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
They've even actually put out notices for
Excellent.
anybody to their to adults saying if you have kids
Yeah.
and they recognize Daniel Radcliffe,
Yeah.
do not bring them to this movie because it is not going to be a fun ride
Oh
for
no, no, this is.
them. Like it's apparently quite legitimately scary.
Yep.
And that excites me because I haven't seen a horror movie that had me going
Oh, when is it gonna stop?
since I think Haunting of Connecticut. That
Yes.
actually had some good jumps.
That was a pretty scary movie.
Yeah.
Coming up next, we have Chronicle, which I saw the trailer for this in front of Underworld. It actually looks really cool.
It's a neat found footage film. Mm-hmm. Like it's like four guys.
Yeah, a couple of friends, they discover something weird, and then they get superpowers, and then all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, one guy goes crazy, of course.
Yeah.
But you know what? It looks kind of interesting. It's kind of like I don't even really know what to label it as, other than found footage, and could be good.
Yeah.
Really.
I'm probably going to end up checking this out at some point, and maybe we'll do a review about it.
Yeah. This one sucks because I actually don't know what The Innkeepers is about, but that's coming out.
It's another horror movie.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So pretty big week for creepy, scary, paranormal type movies.
So the stuff that we were hoping for, closer to Halloween.
No, this is
instead of
good. This is good. It primes us for Halloween.
I guess that's
You
true.
can't have all the scary in 1 month. Then that's just like
Yeah,
nothing
at least now
scary
there's
anymore.
now there's Halloween. Now there's scary movies for your Halloween party. So.
Exactly.
That's
By the
pretty
time
cool.
these come out, it'll be midsummer. So.
And then coming out in DVD and Blu-ray,
Yes.
we have In Time.
Which was really cool.
No idea what it is.
It's a movie set in the future where time is currency.
Neat. Oh,
Yes,
wait, is that the
with,
one with Justin Timberlake?
Yeah.
Okay, no, I know what that one is
Yes.
then. That one actually looked kind of neat.
It's really cool.
Cool.
Nope. I actually have Drive with Ryan Gosling.
Which apparently was really good.
Yes, very good. I saw it. It's not really my type of movie. It's not really something we would talk about on this show, but it is a very well-made movie.
Yeah, I'll have to check that one out.
Definitely.
Dreamhouse, which, is that the one with Daniel Craig?
Yes.
And he's... well, never mind. Yes, it's one with Daniel Craig. It's another horror film.
Horror movie.
Suspense horror sort of thing. It actually looked pretty good. It's another one of those ones where you should get it, watch it.
The trailer scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, actually, the trailer did exposed a lot, though. Oh, joy.
This one was the one you sort of kind of liked.
So The Thing.
Yeah.
The new version, the prequel of John Carpenter's The Thing,
Yeah.
which I'm of mixed mind about. If they had just said, "Hey, we're remaking The Thing," done. You would have had a great film. But it says they labeled it as there's loose ends that bug me.
All right.
But still,
You
overall,
might be the minority here. A lot of people I've talked to really like this prequel. But
I can't borrow your glasses again.
No, I can't.
But
I need to see.
I'm
it.
gonna just have to go back into the whole. I really like The Thing.
Yeah.
Um,
It's when they mess with their favorite movies. It's
Yeah,
like if
exactly.
someone were to mess with Totoro or something.
Exactly. Like they really messed with it. It was mostly just the monster that pissed me off the
All right,
most.
cool.
But otherwise, it's a decent movie. I'll leave it at that.
And you might remember that about a month and a half ago we talked about Star Trek Next Generation being remastered on Blu-ray.
Yes.
Now they've released the sample disc. So
Oh.
this one has The Encounter at Farpoint Parts 1 and 2, as well as another episode that I just read, but I don't remember the name of it. It's about Worf.
Probably episode 3. Probably the third episode.
No, it's not. I don't think it is, actually.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it's somewhere in the first season, but not the third episode.
Well, either way, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I was gonna pick this up, but it was like $19, which is a bit more than what I want to pay for 3 episodes of Star Trek. If it was
Yeah.
down to like $13, I would have been so there. But 19, sorry, not happening. I'll probably pick up the first series when it does come out, though.
Oh, games.
Finally, we have
We
video
haven't
games
done
coming out.
games in a while.
Since like mid-December.
Oh, God.
How I missed games.
I don't miss these ones.
I really don't. Well, maybe.
Final Fantasy 13-2. Because, they are still making these nonsense
You know,
ones.
it's like what you said about your friend in high school. At least you're pretty. It's all right.
Yeah, that's pretty much all you can say about it.
That's about it.
No one ever told me I was pretty.
The next one is pretty and pretty badass.
Soul Calibur, which
5.
which really, that is a game that I've played a couple times, and it's been like, I can get into it.
Yeah, it's a
Never
really,
bought it, but
really pretty fighting game.
yeah.
At the very least, the rental would play it for a week, beat up some characters. Apparently, you can play as Princess Zelda and beat the crap out of Link.
You know what though? That doesn't have the same sort of feeling as like playing as Mario and beating the crap out of Peach.
You can be Altair and beat the crap out of weird anime people with giant swords.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Either
Yeah,
way,
sure.
Soul Calibur series has always been really fun
It's
because it's
always
like,
been
here, it's kind of like Smash Bros, but
Yeah.
not just Nintendo characters.
Have all the crossovers.
Exactly.
Darth Vader? Sure, why not? What? Yeah.
But yeah, so that about wraps it up for this week,
Yeah,
eh?
pretty big week, pretty exciting, and hopefully we'll have some more exciting weeks because everyone knows right before Christmas and right after Christmas are really boring.
The Oscars are also coming up, so this could be fun.
Ah.
Hi everyone, welcome to Tech Insight for this week.
Starting off with the boring Firefox 10 release this week. If you're the guy who really needs to go get Firefox, they're kind of switched over to this new rapid release thing that Chrome has been doing.
Okay.
Except when you run Chrome, you don't notice because it just kind of happens in the background.
Yeah, you kind of start it up and it's like, I'm taking a little longer ammo.
Yeah, so, but Firefox, you have to go actually download it or you'll get a prompt about updating. Not a lot of things. It's basically UI tweaks, some decent stuff. The forward button doesn't show up unless you've already been somewhere,
Okay.
which is kind of nice, keeps it a little simpler. The cool thing, full screen APIs.
Oh.
So web apps that take advantage of full screen, so video, game, stuff like that.
That's actually kind of cool.
Which is cool because I don't think IE has that. Chrome, I'm not sure. You never really tell. Chrome's
yeah.
features change all the time.
I was going to say, they add things, take them out again, and so on and so forth.
And you
so.
got better extension management, which is good because I found the extensions got a little ridiculous with Firefox around version 8.
Yeah, they started becoming too many, and
Which
you started...
is why I stopped using Firefox as my day-to-day browser.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I think I'm going to try 10 because apparently it kind of brings it back into control. And it's the extended support release, which means you can, if you stay on 10, this comes with a lot kind of from the Linux side of things. If you stay on 10, you'll be able to continually see support from Firefox on that version.
That's not so bad.
Which is good.
Yeah,
So it
that's
means
actually really
if
good.
you're running Firefox on your business, 10 is where you would upgrade to because you can get support. Because, it's like, why do people still run IE6? Because they could support IE6. So the people who run Firefox in a kind of corporate setting can now upgrade to 10. So nothing too exciting there, but if you are a Firefox nut, that is out for you, Windows, Mac, and Linux. Next up, we're talking Microsoft Kinect. It's actually available for you now. You can go purchase it with the SDK. So there's not any apps right now that are available or software that's available that works with the Kinect.
I'd say most people have been making their own.
But you can actively develop for it now. So the SDK with hardware goes for $250,
Okay.
which is pretty good. That's got the new lens in it, so up to 40 centimeters away.
Oh,
so
that's
you can be
actually
a lot
really
closer.
awesome. You can get right close.
Yeah, which makes sense because if you're using a PC, you're
Yeah.
this far away.
You're about 40 centimeters
40,
away.
50, yeah. So better. So it's going to work well for your PC environment. And if you can, there's educational discounts as well, like Microsoft usually does with SDK type stuff. So $150 for the SDK plus the Kinect. So now that that's officially available and they're shipping it with the PC appropriate hardware, hopefully we'll see some integration in there. I'm excited to see what comes in Windows 8.
I was going to say, I think this is going to be the thing that is going to make Windows 8 on the PC a lot more intuitive.
Yeah.
Just because, like, if you saw the demo, or the alpha release they did of it that they allowed people to go into in the wild, it's very tablet oriented.
Yes. In fact, I won't upgrade unless there's massive changes to the PC side.
And that's kind of it. Like, if this becomes hey, Windows 8 is this, but you know what? The Kinect is sold so well, we're going to drop the price so it becomes you can use it as your standard input.
That could be interesting.
That could be interesting.
I don't know that I
could be
really want to
cool.
be waving around in the air all the time.
It'd be like Minority Report.
You could get used to it. I don't know if that's your thing. I could see it definitely having uses.
Yeah, it has its place, that's for sure.
Especially if there's a lot of people, arthritis, have lack dexterity to use a mouse.
Yep.
That would be a lot easier. Things like that. I think it has definitely applications on the PC side.
Well, as we saw even last year, it has even use in private industries, such as the hospitals.
Yeah.
They were using it in the operating room, so they'd be like, all right, I need to see this one. Bam.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
I definitely think it has much wider applications on Windows side than we see on the gaming side. So it's good to bring that technology over.
Yeah.
Next up, we're talking Google. So they've been sued in France. Well, this would happen in France. Google France is the Google branch of France. A man named, his name is Botten. He runs Botten Cartographers.
Okay.
They're a company that makes maps. And they sued and won against Google because Google is inappropriately leveraging the market because they offer ridiculously good maps for free. Google has to pay out a 500,000 euro fine.
So that's 1.3 million in
around
our
$1 million
currency.
or more.
That's ridiculous. Like that is beyond ridiculous.
Now the strange thing is that they paid the fine and moved on. They have not changed their map offerings.
They're not gonna waste time.
No, really, that guy needs to learn how to compete in the new market. Because you know what, Google's not the only one. Bing has an extremely good map service.
Bing MapQuest is still there, and they're doing okay.
Yeah,
considering
there are others that offer this free map service that's very good.
And yeah, I don't understand why they went after them.
I mean, it's a good win for bot and cartographers.
Yeah, like good job, guys, but you really look like jerks.
Map making is not what it used to be. You don't need to have skilled people to make maps anymore. You need to have access to a satellite.
Yeah,
You know,
then you're done.
and some good software.
And hey, guess what? The maps will be even more accurate now.
So I don't know. I love Google Maps. I think this is ridiculous.
Yeah, this is. You know what though? At least Google basically just instead of making a big deal, they're
got
just
the
like, you know what?
money.
It's pennies. Just get rid of it. Just go, let them go away.
It's just a kind of an insulting premise that Google, for providing a superior product for free,
Is getting penalized.
is losing out to someone providing an inferior product for money.
Yeah, but it falls into tradition, right?
But
it's,
I mean,
it's definitely one of those.
and it
things.
follows into the whole, these laws do not accurately reflect the way the online economy is running.
Absolutely.
So,
There needs to be some changes, I think, but
interesting. Hopefully that is the last we hear of this, because Google Maps service is excellent, and there's no reason really to pay
Yeah.
for maps anymore.
basically, when you have a map that automatically tells you when you want to walk from the Shire to Mordor, and it says caution, one does not simply walk into Mordor.
You like those baked in.
Yeah, I really like those baked-in features, and if they're doing that, that's cool.
And last but not least, this week we're talking Canadian content. Listen up if you're a Bell iPhone subscriber. Bell's released, so they actually released, it's called Mobile TVs, their new product. They've released it on their Android tablet offerings and some of their Android phones.
Okay.
It's an app that literally lets you watch live TV.
That's really cool.
Now there's a catch, it's not free. You have to add this live TV, mobile TV package to your phone for $5 a month. Now, that gives you a limited amount of 3G viewing, so about 5 hours for the $5.
Okay.
And then it's $1 for every hour after that. Now the catch is, if you have that $5 add-on and you're on Wi-Fi, that's unlimited viewing.
That's actually really, really cool. Because I was wondering, I've seen the commercials for this sort of thing.
They're
Android
pushing it on
line.
their tablets, is
Yeah.
what they're doing, yeah.
My thing was, though, I was wondering, if you're on 3G, is that eating into your data, or is
Yes.
the $5
Well, okay, so
covering that?
I'm pretty sure what happens is the $5 covers it and you pay per hour.
Okay.
So that's why you're not going to get charged per hour and then get charged for data.
Yeah, see, that's what I was wondering.
But if you're on Wi-Fi and you're paying that $5, this becomes actually a reasonable proposition. $5, like $1 an hour to watch television, is insane from my perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, use that 5 hours because you're paying for it, but then find some Wi-Fi. But I mean, if you're at school or you're at work and you want to watch the news at lunch or catch up on a quick episode of something, this could become pretty decent. Now, what's exciting this week is they've released the iOS app. So before it was only on Android, and now Bell's released it now. You can download the app if you want, if you're on Rogers or Fido or whoever, but you can't use it because it's a Bell service offering. Understand this. Don't go write a bad report because you can't use it. That's insane. It's a Bell service.
There's still going to be a few out there.
But the iOS app works really well. Bell's actually released any app they've ever released. Like they had a really good PVR control app.
That actually worked really well,
Works great. So from what I've heard, the app works very well. You can watch up to 24 channels live: CBC, CTV, TSN, Comedy Network, and it's literally press, it loads, and you're seeing what you would be seeing if you're sitting in front of your television.
I really like that.
Which is a really cool offering, especially because of the Wi-Fi Unlimited. Now, if you're already a Bell TV customer, you can also watch some on-demand stuff.
Hey, that's kind of cool.
But you have to be a Bell TV customer as well. So,
But you know what? This is a good deal for Bell. Like, this is a really neat package.
Yeah.
That if you are a customer for Bell and you are interested in this, take advantage of it, because there's no one who's doing this right now in Canada.
well, that's the thing. That's why I put it in here, because it's actually an interesting product offering as opposed to, like Rogers has nothing like this.
Yeah.
Shaw has nothing like it. Kojiko, nothing. Are they even still around? I don't even know. But
I don't think so. But
most TV providers aren't doing this. And Bell is breaking into this kind of strange market. I don't know if it has, AirPlay built into it or if you can do mirroring, but if I'm on Wi-Fi at home, I can get 24 live TV channels for $5 a month.
which is something to be said, especially if you're one of those people who doesn't have cable, because screw that.
That becomes very tempting.
That is actually a pretty tempting thing there.
Yeah. Now, if they don't rejigger it and make you pay for $1 an hour, no matter where you're using it, but I really think the only loss there for them is bandwidth. So why would they?
Yeah, I don't really see them actually doing that. I think keeping it there would be in their best interest.
Yeah, I think it's a great product. If you're on Bell, I would recommend checking it out because you can add and subtract that from your plan at will.
Absolutely.
There's no contract obligation there.
That would be a definite call in and ask.
Yeah, double
'Cause-
check, but it looks really good. I mean, especially if you're a sports guy or something like that. I mean, you can watch the Super Bowl on your phone. If there's a game going on midday and you're at the office, you can check up on it every now and again. I think it's a really good offering, and I want to see Rogers put out a competitor because I can't get this because I'm not on Bell.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say, Rogers. I think they're gonna watch this one. I give it a year, and I think they'll have something.
now, if you have tried this and AirPlay and or HDMI wired mirroring works on a 4.4S, let us know because that would be really cool.
And very handy.
Because to be honest, I'm more than willing to sit my phone on the table if I can watch, even if it's, it's not going to be HD.
Who cares?
But, decent quality television. It's mostly the live streaming aspects. You can, actually watch the news and watch live sports. So if you're on Bell, $5 a month to check that out for all 24 channels, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And that wraps up Tech Insight this week.
It's kind of alive!
Nah, it's still dead.
Oh.
Hey everyone, welcome to Mad Science this week. This week, I'm going to start with something completely mad.
Yeah, actually, it was kind of unprecedented, and they finally found it.
This story kind of came out of nowhere this week. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
And I'm really kind of happy about it, although they don't describe too much
No,
about
unfortunately,
it.
there's not that much coverage on this.
So enough leading you on.
Yes.
They found a mushroom in the Amazon, which is able to break down polyurethane,
Sweet.
which is pretty big, considering that we use polyurethane for almost
Pretty
everything.
much everything, yeah.
I mean, it has its uses in the household, of course, and we generally just kind of toss it away.
Because it's not recyclable.
Exactly. So, well, it is. Some of it is recyclable, and you can break it
doesn't-
down to certain
yeah.
points, reuse it. But for the most part, people just throw it out. So it's filling up our landfills and whatnot, and all.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Plastic island in the middle of the ocean and all that
Yeah.
sort of stuff,
so the new Gorillaz album,
Yeah.
for instance. But they've also come up, or they found out that this fungus is actually able to break it down. Now they don't really say what it releases in the process, what
No.
its waste is.
Toxic fumes.
But yeah,
everywhere.
like what is it doing with this material? But that's fine. I mean, we're hopefully
Yeah.
going to get more information because this is kind of breaking. You can call it breaking news. So we're hoping to get more information as the while goes on here. So this mushroom called boy, you know what? Never mind. I'm not going to bother. Pestalotiopsis microspora, which that was painful to say.
You tried.
They say is a resident of the Ecuadorian rainforest and was discovered by a group of students led by molecular biologist Professor Scott Strobel of Yale. So this is kind of big. If they can finally figure out what its waste product is, that is a huge thing because it actually works in an anaerobic environment. So you could put it inside a landfill, like buried, and it would still work. It would eat away and munch all
Sweet.
that. So that's kind of cool. No telling what it would do once it started growing.
No.
Would it take over the world? Who knows? Would it become sentient?
They're working on that.
Yeah. Moving along,
Yes.
we talked about these sort of things in the past, and there's a new one now. So, male birth control.
Yay.
Yeah.
Not applicable.
Yeah, well, whatever. Chicks got the pill. Guys don't have really anything yet.
No.
There is a pill, but it's like everything else. They're not sure of the long-term effect. Because, we got to make sure we're still kicking, apparently. So, the University of North Carolina has found that by shooting men's testicles with ultrasound for, I think it was, well, they tried it in rats, of course, first. So they shot them in the testes for 15 minutes per dose, and it basically rendered them infertile to human standard. So that's something.
Now, this story isn't new. It says further down in the article that something like this was tried in the 70s and 80s, and nothing really came of it. So
Yeah, so the main thing is, like, a lot of people are wondering, is it painful?
Yeah.
No.
Painful? No.
You don't feel it.
But another really big concern is, will you be able to have kids again after this, or
Yeah.
will your kid be all messed up and have like?
Yeah, like
T-Rex arms?
they're actually not sure if it's reversible yet.
Yeah.
So they still have to do that study. There's another one that was out there, like we mentioned before, where it essentially vitrifies you, and they can reverse that. And there's apparently no long-term damage.
Yeah, but that one requires a needle and. all
Yeah,
that
but
sort of thing,
depending
but-
on how far you're willing to go to not have
For
kids,
sure.
it's kind of a good thing to do. I mean, the cheaper option and less painful option, just use a condom.
True.
Hey. But just the same, so it's kind of neat to see this sort of research moving along because kind of been stagnating.
Yeah.
They've kind of been sitting. There's a lot of work in Europe, especially where they're trying to work on this. I mean, there is a male pill that's in Europe, but once again, that's not going to make it over here because they're not happy with the
Yeah.
standard of testing
With results and all
and
that.
with some of the results. So they're trying to figure all of this out. But the fact that ultrasounds can be used for that kind of makes me worry now because I've had to get ultrasounded around my legs, and that just seems a little close now.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. Doesn't
Well-
matter. I don't plan on having kids, so
I have cats.
I don't. Either way, there'll be an alternative to fill that hole.
Robots?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Speaking of robots.
Hey.
Hey.
We haven't done these in a while,
I'm getting good at this transition thing.
so we haven't talked about robots in a long
No.
time.
But now we have a whole swarm of them just to make up for all the robots we haven't talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a swarm of these robots that coming out of the University of Pennsylvania. The really cool thing about them, they're little
Yeah,
quadricopters
they're
about
roughly
yay big.
hockey puck size, maybe
Yeah.
a little bit bigger once you get the copters in there, but
And,
always get the propellers in there.
The thing is, though, if you go to our show notes and have a look at the link, there's actually video of these
Yeah.
things.
In fact, the video is probably playing right now as we're talking.
Yeah, probably. They fly in unison.
Yeah, they
Like,
fly in
they're in
formation. They can do like a figure eight and all sorts of crazy, sort of scary things.
Yeah, I remember me and my buddies were talking about this sort of thing. Like we wanted to try after we did our like remote control
Yep.
and robotic stuff. We wanted to take a whole bunch of helicopters that they have, the fighting ones, and do like Space Invaders. So have them
That's-
kind of hovering.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they've done here.
Yeah.
We covered something a while ago about a little group of robots doing this on a two-dimensional surface, like on a table.
Yes.
Where they use sensors to figure out who's the leader, which one's in the middle, and where all the other robots are relative to each other, so they don't bump into each other and all that stuff.
And then we did another one where there was a group of robots trying to navigate a room and get a specific book.
Yep.
And those ones worked in the swarm fashion as well.
Again, using sensors and all that sort of thing.
But these ones, I could see it having, of course, a huge implication for security.
Totally.
Because now you have nanobots that just kind of fly around, and hopefully they're quiet enough that they're not annoying and people will notice.
In the video, they sound kind of annoying.
Yeah,
Not gonna
but
lie.
it's those little motors. They're
At-
just loud.
At the very least, you can put on a really cool show with these.
Yeah, it'd be really cool.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be surprised if these make it out to like a commercial sort of toy market. If you see
That would be
really cool displays at like toy fairs and all that stuff, where just
Make-
launch it all up in the convention center and
make
fly.
thousands of them and give each of them a red, green, and blue LED, and have them turn into a big screen.
Eurovision did that a couple years ago, but that was all CG. But if these were real, you could totally do that because it had the flags flying in and all kind of
Ah,
like
there you go. Do
it was
that.
mimicking LED lights. So if that happened with these, it'd be really cool.
Yeah. So not much to really talk about them, unfortunately, because they're kind of still a little hush hush. But the fact that they're willing to show them off is really cool.
Yeah.
So that about wraps up for science this week.
Yeah.
So we finally have those robots. Go figure.
Hey everybody, welcome to Behind the Lens for this week. We're starting off with a somewhat promising review of some new software for editing video on the iPad. It's from Avid.
Yeah, so Avid's one of the big three in terms of professional video editing. You've got Premiere from Adobe, you've got Final Cut from Apple, and you've got Avid Media Center, which is the other big one. And so Avid has come out with Avid Studio for the iPad. So we're going to run a demo here for you. So start it off, when you launch up the app, you get this screen that basically shows you the different projects you can be working on at any given time. So we'll click here. We'll create a new project. We'll call this the Almost Friday Show, and it'll create a new project for us. Now the layout's a little bit different than what iMovie offers, but I find it's a little bit more intuitive to use in comparison to iMovie.
It's a little bit more like what you'd see on the desktop.
Exactly. So on the left-hand side here, you've got a breakdown of your different content. So you got video clips, you have photos, you have the music that's on your iPad, you've got the transitions that they offer, you have some of their montages, which is things like picture-in-picture and multiple screens all up in one at one time. And you've got text, and they have both animated text and not animated text. What I like about this is it's very easy to quickly find the content you're looking for.
Absolutely.
So instead of having to browse through all your stuff, you're able to very quickly find what you want. And so from here, we can go and find the video that we want to work on. And if I click on something here, it's going to open it up in the window to the right. I can start playing that footage, and it's going to play it here in the browser. I can watch it in real time. It's not laggy or doesn't need any rendering or anything like that. And what I can do is I can grab these little orange arrows and slide them to where I want an in point to be, and slide it to where I want an out point to be. So I can very quickly select what I want, and then I can just drag the clip down to the storyline. This is very easy, and then once it's here on the storyline, I can double click it to change how it fits, volumes, fade in and out for that kind of clip if I want to. And we can skim through it and see where we are in real time. And what's cool about this is some of the other applications, once you get it on the timeline, you have to do some rendering before you can watch the timeline. But here I can very quickly start watching the timeline, and I can switch to full screen to watch the timeline as well, and have a better sense of what I'm looking at.
Yeah, and it is quite snappy in terms of previewing and watching your timeline footage.
Yeah, and not only can you watch the timeline in full screen, but if you click on the little 4 boxes up in the left-hand corner, you can watch the clips that you want to preview in full screen as well. So you can use the real estate of the iPad to its benefit. So I like that you can check out both your timeline and your clips in full screen. And it's very easy to trim through. We can also scrub the clips by grabbing the little orange handles at the bottom, so we can trim forwards and trim backwards if we want to. And if I come in here and grab another clip, it's as easy as finding the one that I'm looking for and grabbing an in and an out point for it, and then I can take this clip and I just drag it beside it, and it connects the storylines together.
And I actually kind of quite like that view where you can see the individual clips without even scrubbing all the way through the storyline.
Yeah, so what's nice is you can scrub through the storyline to do some finite editing, but you can very quickly jump from clip to clip,
Yeah.
so that when you're looking at a larger project, you're not getting confused with what you have.
It makes doing a large project on the smaller screen actually feasible.
And so now I can grab a transition, and if I want to grab a crossfade, I can grab this crossfade down, and I thought I could. Oh, there we go. And just put it between the two clips. And it's going to automatically put that crossfade in, so that when we play back those clips, it's going to crossfade between them. And then we can also come down here, grab some music, and grab an audio track here, and bring it to one of the 3 audio timelines. And very quickly, and again, we can grab we can choose where we want the clip to be, and sort of pin it where we want as well. It's very easy to make sort of precision edits to some degree. And then if I want text, I can grab some animated text and add it in anywhere I want on this timeline, and it'll just sort of jump in there, and I can do some work on that if I want to. If I want, I can just delete this clip, and we can also come through here, and if we drag to a specific part, we can do a blade to cut the video into smaller pieces as well. So I mean, overall, I think it's a pretty good app. I think my biggest problem with it at the moment is that it only supports 1 track of video. I'd like to be able to do 2 tracks, so that you could have a track that maybe has an interview going while you run some B-roll on top. I mean, they do offer the montages here, or the multiple clips, but that isn't necessarily a solution where you just want to run some B-roll over some talking head footage. But as a 1.0 version, I think it's very polished. Once you're done with this clip, you can then send it off, and you can save it as a file, upload to Facebook, YouTube. But what's neat is they support Avid Studio. So much like iMovie, where you could take your iPad edited movie and then open it up in iMovie to do final tweaking, you can send this to Avid Studio on the PC to do some final tweaking as well. So overall, I think it's a good choice. I like the layout better than iMovie. The feature set is similar, but I think if you're going to buy one or the other, I think this shows a little bit more promise, at least at the get-go. And I suspect we're going to see more updates to this than we see to the iMovie. I mean, iMovie gets updated maybe once every half a year or so, but I think Avid's probably going to put more effort into this.
Yeah, well, it definitely looks like one of the best we've seen come out since iMovie. That is at least on the same level.
Yeah.
And it does compete on price as well. I mean, they're the same price, $4.99 in the App Store. So it makes it an interesting choice, at least, if you want to get some editing done. And really, to have both would not be a huge burden.
No, for sure.
So if you wanted some of the crazier stuff you can do in iMovie, you can do that. But if you want just a straightforward get-go, Avid Studio is a good choice.
Absolutely. So move on to some camera announcements. Pentax decided to announce the K01, which is another mirrorless camera. We talked about the Q a while back, and we hate it. And Pentax really hasn't been doing very well with the Q,
No.
not surprisingly.
And now that the K01's out, I don't know that that's necessarily going to change.
Yeah, so the big thing that Pentax is touting with the K01 is that it doesn't require any new lenses.
Yeah.
So you can use all of Pentax's K-mount lenses, which means you can also have backwards compatibility with all of Pentax's older lenses as well. The problem with that, though, is that the camera's flange distance, which is the distance from the sensor to where the lens mounts, is the same as the K5. Because if the lenses are the same, they can't change that flange distance, because then the lens won't work
Yeah.
properly. So it's not really small.
No.
And then it kind of begs the question that if it's not really small, why wouldn't I just have a regular digital SLR?
Yeah. I mean, other than maybe a price factor, if you're using the same lenses, or if you're someone who has a lot of K-mount lenses, why wouldn't you just buy a K5?
Yeah.
I,
So, I mean, the other thing that really gets me about this camera is because it is physically larger than most mirrorless cameras, I would expect them to put an electronic viewfinder on there.
take advantage of the larger size.
Yeah, because adding an electronic viewfinder is going to maybe add half an inch of height to it, but it's not going to add any extra size because you've got this mirror box worth of space to be able to put stuff in, and they didn't do it.
No.
So you've got a nice high-resolution 920 dot LCD screen on the back, but you've got no viewfinder, which in a camera this size, I would really like to be able to hold it up to my face. And then, the other problem, too, is that because it is using K-mount lenses, the lenses haven't gotten smaller. So you still have to carry around the same bulky size lenses that you normally have.
Yeah, so I really don't know where this fits into the mirrorless market, since a lot of them are selling, because they're smaller bodies. You can get a pancake lens and just kind of go, and you're still getting this great quality pictures. Whereas this is you've got a big bulky body. It's not very good looking,
No,
to be honest.
it's kind of ugly.
Yeah.
It's got some stoplights on the top, and it was
kind of looks like
it
it's
was
got like a unibrow
created
going
by
on.
an industrial interior designer. I think Pentax thought that was a cool idea.
That shines through a little bit.
He's
It's like-
never designed a camera before, and it definitely is obvious.
Yeah.
And the other, the thing is, you did mention a pancake lens, and Pentax did come out with an amazingly small 40mm f2.8 lens, which is actually smaller than Panasonic's 20mm lens. But the thing is, because it's a K-mount lens and it's going to work on a K5, well, the lens is really small, but the camera is still bigger with that. The lens is the size of a body cap. It's incredibly small. But the camera is still going to be larger than an Olympus camera with a 20mm lens than this guy is with the incredibly small 40mm lens.
I mean, if you go to DP Review, they have pictures of the K01 and the K5 side by side. Other than the fact that the K5's got a larger grip, which actually might be better to hold,
yes.
depending on how heavy the K01 ends up being, they're the same size.
Now, the one thing that the Pentax does have going for it is it likely will come out incredibly high in the image quality department. Because the K5 was very high-ranked camera in terms of low light capability and dynamic range. And this is supposed to be using an updated version of that sensor. So in terms of a mirrorless camera, it's probably going to have one of the best images. However, I think this is really blurring the lines between what a mirrorless camera... This is a mirrorless camera in the sense that it doesn't have a mirror, with no other differences from what mirrorless cameras normally
So
give
not
us.
necessarily a bad camera, but maybe a little bit missing the market.
Yeah, which, they kind of did with the Pentax Q, so I feel like it's kind of par for the course of Pentax now.
Pretty standard.
And moving on to our last bit of news, Nikon announced a handful of point-and-shoot cameras.
Quite a large handful.
But there's only two that are really worth talking about. And the one that's very worth talking about is the P51 or the P5 the
P510.
P510,
Yeah.
yes, which is a bump of 10 to the previous P500. Now the P500 had a 36 times optical zoom, which was impressive and was class leading. And they for some reason thought that wasn't good enough. And this camera now has a 42 times optical zoom, which makes it the highest optical zoom ever in a point-and-shoot camera. That is an equivalent of 24 to 1,000 millimeters in a point-and-shoot.
Which is outrageous.
Bravo, Nikon. Well done. Now, there's been some speculation that maybe the image stabilization is not going to work so great at 1,000 millimeters.
Probably not.
That they're really pushing the capabilities of these cameras. But, if you want to take pictures of birds and you don't want to lug a camera around, you can't even get remotely close to the size of this camera with that amount of zoom in any SLR. Even if you get a mirrorless with a large zoom lens, it's still, you're so much zoom in this. They also updated the P300 with the now P310, and they've gone from a CCD to a CMOS sensor, which is going to hopefully improve the low light capability. It does again still have the bright lens, and you've got full manual control and all that kind of stuff, but they still didn't add RAW to it, which makes it difficult to compete with things like the S100 and the XZ1 from Olympus. Well, both of them are touting full 1080p video, which is sort of par for the course right now, as well as some built-in HDR stuff and things like that. So two fairly interesting compacts from Nikon, but if you're looking for that high zoom, this is now the king. And I think it might be hard to beat that.
Yeah, well, especially if we think about the whole image stabilization factors, will there be a point in beating it if you can't take a usable photo at that magnification?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the end of Behind the Lens for this week. And that brings us to the end of the show this week. As per usual, if you want to get a hold of us, you can reach us via email at contact@almostfridayshow.com.
And if you want to find out when the new episodes come out, what they're about, and what we're up to, you can follow us on Twitter at @almost_Friday.
Or if you're one of those Facebook users, which apparently there's a lot of you, because, Facebook went all public this week.
Yeah, with the big money.
Yeah, so if you're still using that service, we think it's on the the down.
Yeah, we're not big fans of Facebook here necessarily.
But we totally have our stuff on Facebook, and you
Yeah.
can find us by typing in the Almost Friday Show in that little search box up in the top.
Yeah, we have a page where there's some video.
You should like us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And tune in next week because Quinn and Sam are going on vacation
It's true. We're getting out of here.
in February, which I would like to do, but I can't. So Sean and I are doing the show next week live from my couch.
Should be entertaining.
Yes.
I'm disappointed to be missing it.
It'll
But
be good.
I'll just watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.